I have Mark with me today. He's actually been a patient of ours for some time. But I'm going to let him tell you the story as far as why he came in and his results.
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm here to do a testimonial for Dr. Janice Jurek. Like she said, I've been a patient for quite a while. And I call Dr. Jurek my savior because she saved me when all other doctors couldn't. I was to several different medical doctors having terrible digestive problems. And they do all their standard tests, the blood tests, the colonoscopies, whatnot. And nobody could really figure out what was wrong, but I was seriously ill, barely making it through work. Not being able to have regular bowel movements, my gut's just going crazy all the time. I was getting the dry heaves in the morning, every morning. I mean, I was deathly ill to the point where I'm not sure how a person could be walking around and not be dead. It was that bad. And I'm kind of a religious person, and I was praying just for some help from God to figure out what was wrong with me. And I walked into the grocery store one evening after work, just barely making it, trying to grab something to eat for dinner, and I usually went home and went right to bed because I was so sick. But I would get rest and not really feel better. And I walked in there, and there's a lady standing there. It happened to be Dr. Janice Jurek, and she's standing there with her spinal cord and asked me if I had spinal problems or food allergy problems or stomach problems. And I said, yes, I have multiple problems. And I knew I had scoliosis. And so she set me up for a free consultation, and I went in to see her. And she pretty quickly figured out that my eosinophil valve was sticking. And the eosinophil valve is the valve between your large and small intestines. And when that sticks, your bowel cannot go through to your large intestines properly, and either it backs up or goes through too much. And what was happening with me is it was backing up, and my body was turning toxic, and medical doctors couldn't figure that out. In fact, medical doctors did so many tests and couldn't figure out what was going on that they told me to go see a psychiatrist. I saw Dr. Jurek for probably 2 or 3 visits, and she had this eosinophil valve figured out and told me that my allergies to some kind of food was making that valve stick. And so we went through food allergy tests. We figured out that I was allergic to corn and gluten and dairy. So I had a lot of different things. And once that valve started working, and she kept manipulating it, and we're figuring out why it was sticking, I started feeling a lot better and having regular bowel movements. And, I just don't know where else you could go to try and figure something like that out, because it seems to me that medical doctors just run you through their standard tests. And if you don't fit in their standard things, that they don't spend a lot of time figuring out what more is wrong with you. Where Dr. Jurek, she is a chiropractor, a food allergist specialist, and a health food doctor that fits into a lot of different categories. And she's very concerned about her patients and spends a lot of time figuring out things that medical doctors don't. And I don't know how we could have ever figured this all out, but she did. And now my eosinophil valve sticks once in a while. I still need to see her quite often, probably once a week. And she figures out if it's stuck open or closed for me. And I could tell because I hadn't had a bowel movement that day. And within 2 to 3 days, I start feeling very seriously ill. So we try and get it before that happens. And she has helped me so much. It's just unbelievable. She's really saved my life. My life was really down the tubes. I could hardly work. I was ready to die. I really was. And now I'm living pretty much a normal life besides watching what I eat and having Dr. Jurek seeing her every couple days. But she is really a very impressive doctor, and she is so concerned about her patients and doesn't just do the standard things. She goes the long way to figure out what's wrong with you. And there's been days when I knew my valve was stuck and I was starting to feel pretty sick, and it was her day off. And I emailed her and asked her if she'd be in the office, and she said she would be. And I came in and she adjusted it for me on her day off. And I'm just so grateful to have my life back. It even kind of chokes me up a little bit. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Jurek, and I don't know what I'd do without you.
Well, you're welcome, Mark. You're welcome. I'm so happy to see you're doing so well. Do I have your permission to share this with other people?
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.